Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Solar Session. I'm your new host, Gilbert Abrego, and together we're going to go on a journey. We're going to talk to past customers, employees, and just kind of get some insight to the solar industry and the OptionOneSolar family. So join me in this first episode and many more episodes to come. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Solar Session. Today I'm joined by special guest, Jose Lopez.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Your review stood out to me because you mentioned specifically Courtney in your Google review, I believe. What stood out to you about Courtney?
Well, the main thing with Courtney that stood out to me was her responsiveness, her willingness to answer all my questions. I've been shopping at that time for solar for so many months that once I got in contact with Courtney, she was super helpful. She would respond to my text messages. Anything that I needed, she was always there, and that's what really made me go with OptionOneSolar. It was because of the interactions I had with Courtney.
It was very attention based.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't months and hiatuses and whatnot.
Oh no! As soon as I text her hey, I have a question about this, literally within 15, 20 minutes, either she's calling me or she's texting me back, which was it was great.
It's good. And you mentioned you were still kind of looking.
Yeah, no, more than months. I think I invested close to 12, 18 months just looking for solar options. It's not easy to find the right company. Once you do, once you think you did find the right company, surprises, come along the way that these companies weren't transparent with. So I kind of, gave up until I saw one of your billboards. Oh. And I decided to reach out, and from that point on, still a little skeptical. But then, with the help of Courtney, as I mentioned, I was able to get all the answers, all my questions answered at that point.
What was frustrating about other companies? What questions did they bait and switch? I'm curious about this, and then they tell you one thing, and then it's something else.
Yeah, for me, the main thing was the pricing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies want you to lease instead of purchase. So they're more of, recommending what they want you to purchase at that point. And it didn't really, fare well with me at that point.
They're trying to push you to something, and they don't really want you to make a decision.
Yeah.
They're trying to put you somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But with option one, Courtney gave me options you can, sign up for this, type of solar program. This one makes more sense for you since you're a homeowner. So the options were available at that point.
Okay, so it was more so, hey, all these options, you choose. The customer decides. We work with you. It's not buy, trying to pressure you into a contract or anything.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been one of our emails. You said the whole process was easy from start to finish. But within OptionOneSolar, was there any challenges or something surprising to you?
Honestly, I don't think there was much surprises. Every person involved, from the person that comes to your house to review your roof, as an example, super knowledgeable, helpful, friendly. Everyone had their way of approaching you with, the sense of I'm here to help you. So really, there wasn't really too much on my side as far as, being skeptic of anything at that point.
I mean, so solar obviously is something where it's a major decision, right? I mean, you spent 18 months just trying to figure out do I go with this company or this company? What started that conversation? What was oh, hey, I'm considering solar. What was that main incentive?
Well, for me, it was the electric bills. Yeah. With Edison, my bills, they started at 200, 250 a month, and then from there they gradually continue to go up. So that's when I decided, you know what, I need to find a solution to my bills. Just making sure that I have something that's going to be predictable at that point.
So it was very much a financial incentive.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have solar at my house. I don't think we have a battery system, so I'm still off of NEM 3. But do you have like a battery?
I do.
Yeah.
I have one battery, and I think I should have gotten three.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that you think that one battery is going to do it for you, but it just depends on your lifestyle. Like I drive electric vehicles. I have a hybrid electric minivan. So the more batteries that you get, it just protects you to have more, reserves, specifically for, like nighttime use at that point.
And in option one, did they like talk to you and kind of tailor your system around your lifestyle?
Yeah, they were really good at that. That's the one thing that other, solar companies really missed the mark. They don't really look at the analytical part of it. They're quick to to ask you, show me your bill.
Yeah.
But that's the extent of it. They don't ask you those questions as far, hey, do you drive electric? Do you plan on upgrading your home and adding something that will justify either more panels or maybe a few more batteries? I think that the battery topic is something that they weren't touching on, but with solar with Courtney, she asked me all the right questions and she recommended 2 batteries. I decided to go with one. So I should have probably just, listened to her and gotten those 2 batteries.
I imagine it's refreshing though. I mean, it's like, oh, you got an itemized bill. You got something like it. From beginning to end, I imagine option one is like, no, we're going to tell you this, this, and this. Here's your options. You're probably going to need 2 batteries. But at the end of the day, the customer wanted one. You got one, and we're still going forward.
Yeah.
I kind of got to ask though, now that I imagine it's been some time since you've had it. What are your bills looking like now? Ever since, like, is it changed? Is it like gone way down low?
Yeah, I think as a homeowner, that's like one of the top things on your mind. You go solar. What is my bill going to look like? And for the first couple of months, there is a transition from having a positive bill through your utility company. And for the first 2 months, I did see the changes. I went from averaging close to $500 a month to my first bill reflecting $150 a month. And then by the time I got the second bill from my utility company, it was $25. And ever since the second month, it's just been negative bills.
Oh, whoa! I imagine that's like a weight off your shoulders, kind of.
It is. It opens up your pocket towards other things that you might want to dive into at that point.
Was there any other parts in your solar experience where you felt like that weight lift off? Because when you see the negative bill, when you see, oh, I'm only paying $25 a month, like, oh, okay, now I'm confident about this. But was there a part when you were, in the permitting process, the installation process, was there any other point where you're like, okay, I am glad I made this decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been 100% satisfied with my decision. I think it's one of the best decisions I've made as a homeowner, just to trust the process and then, rake in the rewards afterwards.
Aside from finances, is there any other differences you noticed in your lifestyle and home because you've gone solar? Like, has there been other changes?
Well, as far as going crazy, just turning on the AC machine, no. I mean, I think when you go solar, you still have to have that mindset of, let me conserve my, energy usage. Mm-hmm. And I think we've done a pretty good job of, understanding, how to take advantage of solar, right? So the peak hours of solar are, between certain, times during the day. So you want to take advantage of maybe, charging your car, between 10 o'clock in the morning up until 6 in the afternoon, right? uh, just absorb it. Just take advantage of the panels, because after the sun's gone, that's when the batteries kick in. But
Yep.
like I mentioned, if you don't get enough batteries, then you're tapping into your utility company, which is, I think, what we try to do as much as possible not to do. We try not to tap into the grid as much.
And in the kind of whole financing process of this, because finances are the incentivizing factor for you going solar, I assume. When they were breaking down like the pricing, what stood out between other solar companies and Option One?
It was just the upfront transparency. Honestly, that's what it came down to. It's this is the package that we built for you, based on your needs, and everything was completely itemized, which is what you want to see in a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 transaction.
Specifically, now that you have the system, you're having like clear like ROI, like, oh, I'm getting returns on my investment. This is amazing. As far as how the system actually continues to function, are you very comfortable in that? Is it like, oh, whoa, like I don't see any issues going forward? Have you had any problems? Has there been any?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I did have one concern at the beginning of when we ended up getting solar, and that was another reason why I chose Option One. You guys are local, so I made the call to Courtney, and I think within an hour I had a technician come to the house to review the issue, and it was something, simple. I say simple because they're pros when it comes to the technical aspects of it, but within an hour I had someone at the house, and that's another reason why I went with Option One, just having that peace of mind of knowing that you guys are local to the community.
And just the monitoring. You said a technician was out there like super quick. Do you have the 25-year warranty or services and labor and whatnot?
I have the warranties on it as well too. I mean, I rely mostly on the in my situation, it's a Tesla inverter, so I'm on the app just to see where my usage is on a daily basis at that point.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
Now, you were on the fence about solar initially. What would you recommend to someone who's on the fence about solar now?
Do your research. Pay attention to your electric bills. Think about future improvements to your home, because all those things they'll play into, how many solar panels you'll eventually need at some point. How many batteries are going to be sufficient for your lifestyle at that point, and just don't forget to ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can, so that you're able to make the best informed decision at that point.
What would be a major question that you advise those homeowners to ask?
The major question that I would advise would be, leasing versus owning, and making sure that you're able to get the correct response based on your situation. Some people might want a leasing option for zero liability whatsoever on their solar panels, and that's great. But if you're a homeowner and you're looking for that rebate, then owning the system might be a better solution for you.
Is there any other specific details aside from like ownership and leasing that you would want homeowners to know?
Honestly, no, I think those are the two main points. I mean, leasing, it's going to be a situation where you want no involvement with the system. If it breaks down, it's not yours, right? But if you're a homeowner, I don't think leasing would be a good option. You always want to just, go for that tax, rebate while it's still available.
Is there anything that these other companies tried to put on you that you're like, I know better?
Not in my situation. I think in my situation, I was pretty well informed as far as what to look for. With other companies, it was mostly them selling you on the package that they want for you, and that's solely based on their compensation in most cases.
Yeah. So Option One, if you're someone who's a complete beginner to everything, would you say they were able to educate you completely about solar? Like, you know so much more about solar than you did before?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we delved into conversations about, well, you need the panels on this side of the roof because of the sun, the way that everything rotates. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super helpful in that aspect.
That's awesome. I'm really glad that you had a positive solar experience, because you hear all these nightmare experiences where people spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars for essentially a system that doesn't make them anything. They just have this panel on their roof that doesn't offset any of their costs. So that relief and that satisfaction, I assume, is there.
Oh yeah, that was one of my biggest fear. I mean, you hear and you see the solar issues with no ROI. Like I'm
Yeah.
still getting that bill from the utility company, but yeah, I think as much as you can, just educate yourself, and then find the right company that's going to give you additional information so that you can make that informed decision at the end of the day.
Before we kind of segue off, I just want to ask, do you have any advice, any tips for anyone looking to go solar?
Do it now before those tax rebates go away.
Yeah, hey. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. This was great.
Thank you for having me.
This is awesome.